It's Sandra. Welcome to Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please hit the big subscribe button now and hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I post a new video. My throat may be a little bit croaky today on today's episode, so I'm really sorry about that if it is. I've been trying to get better over the course of the day. So, asexuality, dating, relationships talk. Here we go again. As you know, if you follow this channel, I'm still trying to find my asexual soulmate. And I'm also trying to make more asexual friends as well. So it's not just about dating. And I recently have been on meetup.com, going through the asexuality groups on there, trying to find people to connect with in the UK, guys, particularly in the UK, that I can become friends with, and possibly, possibly, you know, find someone to be in a relationship with, right? So I'm on meetup.com. And I get various replies from different guys, right? And if you've read the previous reply from last night, you know, that was shocking enough. But this one, right? This one kind of like is quite shocking in itself, right? So I get this message back. Like I said, sorry, I got a sore throat at the moment. I get this message back from this guy, right? He's Indian and he's in the UK, right? And he told me that he's only here till October. But he said he'd like to meet up with me to basically do some of the things I said. I was talking about kissing, and it was started talking to me about oral sex. At no point during the messaging did I send him any message to say I wanted oral sex. In no way, shape or form. In actual fact, I said I like to kiss with my clothes on, and I don't like to see a guy below the waist. So I don't understand why this so-called asexual guy was basically on about me meeting up, if that's okay with me, to have, you know, to do stuff, you know, and I don't even like oral sex. It's gross. So this guy told me I'm only in the UK till October, and he basically also told me that you know, he's into short-term relationships. Another person that's into short-term relationships. I don't do short-term relationships, right? Maybe some people can hack that. I'm not interested. To me, it's a blatant waste of time doing short-term relationships. I know some people might enjoy it. I personally don't. I'm looking for my long-lasting asexual soulmate in a serious and committed life partner relationship. I think my asexual soulmate is foreign, and I think he's definitely asexual and romantic, all right? I think he might be Indian, but hey, he's foreign, okay? And younger than me, in his 20s, I believe, okay? So that is it. So I'm trying to find him because at the end of the day, I believe he's out there and he probably doesn't even have a clue that I even exist. And when we get together, I think, you know, we'll just make each other happier. Like, I'm very happy being single, right? And I believe he's happy being single to a certain extent as well, you know? But I also think he's like missing something, which is me, right? And I don't believe that I'm incomplete or I'm not whole. Hi, Michael. Yeah, exactly. Why I have come across very few asexuals that do like oral sex, Michael. Yeah. But some of them I'm not even sure if they're really asexual. And to be quite honest with you, getting the answer back from this guy who's a stranger who I don't even know, you know, to me it poses the question, is he really asexual? You know, I just and you know, it's like, oh, he goes, oh, I like to do stuff like that with my friends. Is that okay with you? Are you on WhatsApp and we can arrange to meet up? I'm like, what? Do you know what I mean? It's difficult for me because I love the passionate kissing, right? And some touching is okay in a serious committed relationship, right? But I have had oral sex in the past because I was in heterosexual relationships for years, and that's one thing I did and had done to me, but I don't want it. I don't like it. And I don't need it. Do you know what I mean? So, and now I'm asexual. No, I've always been asexual, but I didn't realise it. But now I know I'm asexual and don't have to put up with that or do that, you know? I don't want to make myself do something I don't want to do, and I don't actually like the male penis. It doesn't interest me in the slightest. I don't want to really touch it either. You know what I mean? And, you know, the last thing I want to do is have all sex. And I'm not into short-term relationships either. Right, so far on meetup.com, 3 guys who said they're asexual. One, if you looked at my video last night, you'll notice basically I think he's abstaining from sex, not really asexual. And the other, one was actually admitted he's heterosexual, not even asexual. And this guy said he's into short-term relationships as well. I'm like, what's going on, What is the matter with these people? I'm into long-term friendships, long-term relationships, Even my friendships. I mean, obviously I have acquaintances, I have friends I don't hear from much, people who are like come in and out of my life, you always get them. But my aim is to have long-term, long-standing, fulfilling, deep, meaningful friendships too. Especially with asexuals who really get me and understand me, And I feel I have that with some asexuals, There are a few people that watch this channel, like Andy's one of them. I've got my BFF that I don't know if he's subscribed to his channel. I think he might do, but he's admin of my group, so we talk more on Facebook because he's joint admin of 3 of my Facebook groups. So we talk more on that. But, my BFF, we're really close. That's a long-lasting friendship. Levi, otherwise known as Livius, he like to be called. He watches his channel. He's, I believe, a long-standing friend. Mordecai, who went to my last meet, he's a long-standing friend. So do you know what I mean? I believe that these people are going to be my friends for life. Not just for Christmas. And this is what I said to this is what I've been saying, To me, a relationship, if I go into one, is going to be for life, not just for Christmas. I'm not here to waste my time, I don't want to I spent years of my life with guys who are not right for me and never would be. I do not want to waste any more of my precious time with guys who do not value my worth, who are not right for me, not compatible with me, and blatantly heterosexual. I don't want a heterosexual guy. If I wanted a heterosexual guy, I'd go to a nightclub and blimmin' ask for sex and get one if that's what I wanted, sex and a heterosexual guy. But I don't want sex and I don't want a heterosexual guy. Do you know what I mean? It's not difficult for me to get a sex, and it's not difficult for me to get a heterosexual guy, and it's not difficult for me if I really wanted oral sex, but I really don't. It's disgusting to me. I don't want that anymore in my life. I've had that in the past because I felt it was part of the package of the heterosexual relationship that I was in that I thought I had to do, and my ex liked that. I didn't really like it. I mean, it was okay done to me, but it just causes infections, actually, in women, if you really must know and get up close and personal. It can cause very much infections. And so, that's what it did with me. And I'm like, I can't have this anymore, So I wasn't interested in the way it made me feel, really, although it was, it was okay experience for me. It was, in comparison to sex, it was probably a bit, I don't know, may have even been a bit better. I don't know in comparison to penetrative sex. I don't really know, but, is why some people would pretend to be asexual to get an asexual partner for sex. I know. I think a lot of people, right? I think they don't understand what asexuality is. I honestly think that they think asexual means that the people in that group are a sexual person, as in heterosexual. That's what I think. However, there is one of the groups that I've been talking in, the London Asexuality meetup group, right, meetup.com, it says pansexual in there. I'm not being funny with you, but since when has a pansexual been asexual? A pansexual is someone who is sexually attracted to multiple genders. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean to say they're attracted to every single person they see. It just means they can be attracted to any gender. Do you know what I mean? My friend, BFF, is a panromantic, and if you're an asexual, you're a panromantic, not a pansexual. So I never understand why in meetup.com they have the word pansexual in it. So, I don't like the fact that asexuals are mixed with pansexuals. It's not fair. It should be kept as an asexual group. However, these guys are blatantly not pansexual, as far as I know. They're blatantly heterosexual, They like women to have sex with them. I mean, one of them that said he was heterosexual, he said he only wanted to speak to women, basically. I just want to talk to women. I don't really talk to men because and in the end he said, yeah, I want sex with them. Well, he said, I want one night stand, which is sex, as you know, and to have short-term relationships with them. And I said, you're in the wrong group. Do you know what I mean? So it's ridiculous. And this guy who actually said this about oral sex to me was actually Indian. But why doesn't he comprehend that when I said I didn't want to see a glide below the waist and I prefer to kiss with my clothes on, how did he get about the thing that I'd want oral sex with him? I don't understand that, or even that I'd contemplate doing that with him. And this is a stranger. Why would I let a stranger meet up with me and do sexual stuff with me or any stuff with me like that when I don't even know the guy? I'm not kidding you, but You know, I've got my safety to think of, just like any woman, asexual or any girl would. Do you know what I mean? Asexual or heterosexual, whatever. You don't, you know, it doesn't change just because of your sexuality in terms of safety in that way. You know, meeting up with a strange person who you don't even know to do any type of physical sexual contact things, you know, you have to be very, very careful. I haven't even video chatted with this guy or anything. This is like, what, I think this is the second message he sent me, you know, and it's like, oh god, it's just really, really, really bizarre. I mean, you know, there was a heterosexual guy who wanted to meet up to have some fun with me and a short-term thing because he's going back to his country. But I mean, he accepted the fact that sex wouldn't be involved, but I never met up with him in the end. In actual fact, I tried to put him off because I was like, I wanted to be his friend, and yes, I would have liked to have kissed him because I was very aesthetically attracted to him. He is my type. He's foreign, in his early 20s. He's very good looking, and I probably would get on really well with him. And I could tell he was sapiosexual. He was sexually attracted to me because of my intelligence. I could tell that about him. But I don't want sex, and I didn't even want to kiss him. Like, although part of me did, because I kind of need kissing, because I love kissing. I don't want it that badly that I would want to, you know, just go to a hotel room with a stranger. I mean, he was staying at a hotel in my road. You know, he's given up now because I didn't, you know, he was like messaging me, and I just like, well, last time I had a missed video call with him, and he didn't chase up, so that was it, right? I've deleted him from Skype now. But do you know what I mean? I don't understand, you know, it's like, what the F is going on with these people and these asexuality groups? Are any of them foreigners actually asexual? Actually, one of them is. I have to say, one of them is a bi-romantic guy. He messaged me back, and he looks like he might be a friend. I'm not sure if he'll be a distant friend or anything else, but he said he'd be interested in going to an asexual meetup. He actually told me he's not looking for a relationship right now, which is great. And to be honest, from the type of things he was saying about himself, I don't think we'd be suited to be each other's type anyway. So probably as friends we'd be fine, but anything more, I think probably not, from the sound of it, of what he was writing. But I'm happy to talk to him still. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not going rah, 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 and oh, I want to do this, that, and the other to you, you know? I always attract the highly sexual guys. I always attract the guys on the more sexual end of the spectrum. I mean, with the way I like to kiss passionately, it is sexual in behaviour, which I can't help, which I suppose might be some of the reason why I attract more sexual guys. But, you know, there's sexual guys on the sexual end of the spectrum, and there's blimmin' like full-on people who seem to like sex. It really, like, too much for me. I mean, it's just too much for me. What I don't get why anyone would want to meet a stranger for oral sex. I mean, yeah, if you're heterosexual and sexual desire is a huge thing of yours, and I kind of get it, but I just like, oh, I don't like sex, you know, not penetration, not oral sex either, you know. It's just like, I just don't want that again in my life, you know. And if I was ever to do anything like that for a guy ever again, I would be in a serious and committed relationship with the guy, like forever thing, and I wouldn't really want to do it. But, you know, I would be in that type of relationship. I wouldn't just meet a blemmin' stranger and do that for him when I don't even know him, and I owe him absolutely sweet FA. I mean, to be honest, I don't owe a boyfriend. If I was with a boyfriend, I don't owe him anything either. I've got boundaries and things I like to do and things I don't like to do, you know. Particularly oral sex is not one of them. I don't know if I could touch the male anatomy again. I really don't know that. I mean, at the moment, I'm saying no because I don't want to. I don't know if I was in a serious committed relationship and the guy wanted that. I don't know if I could change my mind on that. At the moment, I'm saying a definite no, and I don't want him to ever expect that from me because, you know, kiss his chest and all that type of thing. Yeah, with his chest, I can do all that for him, which is fine, which I didn't even know probably a year ago that I could do all that. And I'm quite happy with that now. Well, just over a year ago, because that's when I dated the heterosexual guy. I don't know if you remember him. Yeah. Oh, I bumped into him when I went for a job interview as well. He was holding the door open, the swinging doors. That was weird. I had a little laugh because I imagined someone going to an asexual group to get sex and being confused why no one wants sex with them. Yeah, Michael, that's a funny way of looking at it, I've got to admit. But, you know, I try to make sure that everyone that comes to an asexual meetup is genuinely asexual somewhere on the spectrum. I do have demisexuals in my group come to my meetups, and I will have grey asexuals come to my meetups, you know, because the people I've had so far, I've like communicated with them through asexuality.org or in my grey asexual and demisexual dating group, which I do have. So I do understand some more of the sort of mindset of grey asexuals and demisexuals. I do get that a bit more. And I do, like I said, there may be some people on the really sexual end of the spectrum that may think about doing that. But usually, like the demisexuals, they need a strong emotional connection before they can do that, right? And demisexuals are part of grey asexuality, and grey asexuals only have that under limited, rare, or specific circumstances, wanting to have sex, So it kind of like begs the question, why does this guy want it with a stranger? Is he really asexual after all? I don't know. And I know he said, he used to think he had a high sex drive. That was his first message to me. I used to think I had a high sex drive, but when I tried it, I didn't. It seemed just like a task, which is why I thought he was a genuine asexual guy. Maybe he's just really, 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 really on the very, 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 very end of the asexual spectrum, nearly going into sexual. I don't know, but it just like, why would you want to have oral sex with a stranger? One, why would you want it in the first place? And two, why would you want it with a stranger? You know what I mean? It's kind of gross, and I just get a bit, it's heartbreaking when you're trying to look for your asexual soulmate and you have to just, deal with all the rubbish that's coming your way. I mean, you have to, like, if you want to find real true love, you have to get through all the rubbish, you have to get through all the guys that rubbish. Hopefully you find some wonderful asexual friends with me, it's guys, obviously, because I'm only attracted to guys. In the process, hopefully I'll meet some really nice guys and make some good asexual friends, which I have done, I have to say. So that has been a really positive experience for me, But on the flip side, you've got to deal with all the rubbish, like all the guys that seem to want short-term relationships, the guys that just message for a few messages and don't bother after that, the guys you ask, so where do you fall on the spectrum, and you never hear from them again because 9 times out of 10 they're not really asexual. They're just pretending to be. They're just writing it because they don't understand asexuality, or they're just in this group. God knows what they're doing in this group. I think some of them join this group, asexuality groups as well, because literally they'll join any dating group they can because they're so lonely and so much badly want to be in a relationship. But the fact that we don't want sex and they do, it's just like, what's the frigging point? But they don't really care about stuff like that. All they care about is, satisfying their ego, finding validation, and trying to get sex out of anyone and everyone. I guess that's the way they look at it. And I think that's a sad state of affairs. And I think it's really difficult to find the people that are genuinely asexual, and also the ones that want to find a loving, lasting relationship. I mean, to be perfectly honest, in my 4 years of in my 4 years of not heterosexual dating, my 4 years of asexual dating, I have actually come across quite a few people who aren't asexual, but I've also come across a lot of people who are asexual and really not that bothered whether they're in a relationship or not. And then you get these people that really would like an asexual relationship, but you can tell they're not that serious because they're not putting in the time, they're not putting in the effort, they're not messaging anyone, they're not communicating with anyone. They're just going, well, I've tried to look in my city. Like I would be prepared to travel to London for a relationship. I would ideally want someone to move to live near me. Long term, that's what I want. But sorry, my throat's really bad today. But but I would be prepared to travel within my own country. Like for London, I love London as it is. It's really expensive though. But sometimes it's cheaper for me to go by train to London than it is to lots of other places in the UK. I mean, obviously there's cities nearer me, like Plymouth is quite a good place. Bristol's not too far away. So there are places in the UK where I would be prepared to travel for a relationship. But like I said, ideally I want to move as someone who move and live around the corner from me. But trying to find your genuine asexual soulmate is just ridiculous. A lot of these people don't want long-term relationships. A lot of these people aren't really serious. And they say they are, but they're not. It's like, well, where are you? Where are you putting the time, the effort in, and actually corresponding and making sure that that person's in your life because you want them, need them, appreciate them, and value them? You're just not doing it, are you? And it's just like beyond a joke, really. I'm glad that I found some people who genuinely want to be friends as well, because friendship is really hard to come by. Good quality friends is very difficult to come by. You can meet people online that say they're your friends, they connect with you as friends, and then you don't hear from them for months. The people, there's tons of them, isn't there? And You know, you're lucky if you hear from them on your birthday and get a message saying happy birthday. You know, you're very lucky if that's the case. But, you know, making friends is really difficult as well. You know, people need to put the time and effort in, and you need to put the time and effort in, you know? It works both ways. And if people aren't prepared to put the time and effort in, well, they'll get no results, will they? But having said that, even the people that do put time and effort into to getting that, it's really difficult for them as well, because unless they've got it reciprocated, then it's really hard. You know, but I'm thankful and grateful. I've got some really close asexual friends now who watch this channel, most of them as well, and who I value and who value me. And I can feel like we're really close knit, and I can feel the friendship love, you know. I haven't had that much in past years, but I've got my female friend who's not asexual. I feel friendship love from her all the time. And the guys that are asexual, you know, obviously there's no romance from them to me, but you know, that doesn't matter because I've got the friendship love from them and I can feel it's really, really strong. And I really like that. I really appreciate them. Every single one. I'm so grateful and thankful for them in my life, you know. And I know we'll just keep seeing it. I wish I could see them more, you know. I know we'll just keep seeing each other, but more would be fantastic. It's only because it's a case of money. Because if I hold an asexual meetup in my city, I see asexuals over 3 or 4 days and I eat out with them all the time because my flat's not built to have people around. And I like eating out anyway because I don't like cooking. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of difficult to have asexual meetups a lot because it costs me a lot of money to eat out all the time. And that's really the only reason why I don't do it. Otherwise, I'd be doing them every weekend if I could. I love it. Well, maybe not every weekend, but, you know, at least once a month. Twice a month, maybe, you know what I mean? But if they were live local, my asexual friends, I think I'd probably see them quite a lot as well. But I do have quite a lot of website stuff and work to do that I do like to do. But, you know, I'd love to meet asexuals more often, every month, definitely. But it's hard, you know, it's very difficult. But, you know, have you ever had any experiences where you've met people who say they're asexual but not really? Have you ever had any experiences of them? You know, I know there's a few people watching this channel. Have you ever had any experiences of them saying they want to have oral sex with you and do other stuff like that with you? I mean, seriously, I'd love to know what you think about this video. I hope you find it helpful, useful, and insightful, you know, on your own asexual journey, you know, and you can, like, I mean, the killer question you've got to ask yourself, ask another person is, where do you fall on the asexual spectrum? That usually hits the nail on the head every single time. You find out whether they're not asexual or not. I've never met another asexual in real life, and I've never dated. Michael, you're better off out of it, mate, I tell you. I sometimes I really value people who are aromantic or aromantic, as lots of people say, because people who are aromantic, they don't really have so much of this hassle. Because if you're aromantic, I should correct that actually, because aromantics do still have their own struggles, and some aromantics do still want a relationship, and they can find it hard to differentiate between friendship and a little bit more than friendship. And I did a video about that a while ago, so I can't say, you know, that aromantics don't have their own struggles, because they do. But in general, I think if you're aromantic and not romantic at all, then life is a lot less hassle in the dating world, because you're not really interested in asexual dating. You're not really interested in asexual relationships, you know? There are, like I said, there are romantics that do want a relationship, so I'm not talking about those ones, but the ones that are not that bothered about a relationship, you know, you don't need to worry about this, because you're not, like, trying to find your asexual soulmate, you're not trying to pursue a relationship, you're not trying to find the right person to be in a romantic relationship with, because you don't need that. You know, and I do value aromantics, and I do think, you know, you guys and girls and whatever gender you come in, I just think you're amazing in that way. I just think it must be so much better sometimes to be able to stay detached in that way. As a romantic asexual, I find it incredibly hard to stay unattached, and that's another reason why I wouldn't want to do a hookup, as the sexuals would call it, of anything sexual, because, you know, I get emotionally involved with people. I want a long-lasting relationship where we mutually respect each other, and you know, and be in a safe environment to kiss a guy. My kissing is the equivalent of a heterosexual sex, in the fact that I want that monogamous, you know. I want the guy to only be kissing me, not be kissing like other people and doing physical stuff with other people. I mean, yeah, hug friends, hello and goodbye, fine. But, you know, I don't want him to be going around cuddling other people and snogging other people and passionate kissing, if you don't know what snogging is. And, I don't want him to be doing that. I want a serious and committed, monogamous, asexual, passionate, kissing relationship, right? That's what I want. And trying to get that is like trying to get blood out of a stone, It's just like really difficult. But I know the quest to find my asexual soulmate is going to be a difficult one. Probably going to last for several more years. I mean, it might be that I'm always that I'm always going to be on my own as an asexual person. It might be that I am going to be on my own forever, that I'm not going to find the right asexual partner. But I can't, I don't want to hook up with people because that's just not right for me. I'm just not that type of person. I don't personally agree with short-term relationships. I know some asexuals that have them. I personally can't do that. Once I am into someone, I get emotionally invested in them. I think if anyone's doing any physical stuff with me, then that's very much an honour for them to have that boundary lifted with them. Obviously, I still keep other boundaries in place, but to be able to have that physical intimacy with me is something that I only want to do inside of a serious committed relationship. Just like heterosexuals who are serious and not looking for one night stands or short-term relationships, who want serious and committed relationships. They want the sex usually just with that one, who want monogamous relationship I'm on about, not a polyamorous one, who want a serious, committed, monogamous relationship. They just want the sex inside of the relationship, right? And I just want the serious, I want the passionate kissing and any physicality to be in a serious, committed, asexual relationship, not outside of it, because I don't like that. I don't want that. I'd feel like they were using me. It would feel like they were using my body in that kissing sense to, it would feel like they were using me for their own physical pleasure and just leaving me again. Does that make sense? And that to me feels like a one night stand, but in an asexual way, even if they just kiss me and leave me. I don't like that. I've even had like asexual friends saying, oh, I'll come over to the UK and get us a hotel room and kiss you and then return to my country. And I've had a heterosexual guy say that to me. I really want to kiss you and I'll go on vacation, kiss you and go back. It's like, no, my mouth and my kissing is not up for like rent or something. Like you can rent it out for a week when you come on holiday and the rest of the time forget it. That's not what I'm into. I mean, I really do have a strong urge to kiss. Don't get me wrong. And if I want to go and kiss a person as I'm single, I can do if that's what I want. But do you know what I mean? As much as I love kissing, I just find it so difficult to kiss someone I'm not in a relationship with, because it's really what I want is to be in a relationship with them, have those special moments with an asexual guy. I'm not saying I'm not going to kiss someone that I'm not in a relationship with. I have done it before, not very often, but I have. But, the circumstance for me has got to be right, and I've got to feel safe doing it and actually, met the person in person. Do you know what I mean? And I do it under rare conditions. I don't do it that often. I haven't done that for ages. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember the last time I did that, actually. It was a very long time ago. I was close to an Indian guy a while ago, actually. I do remember that. And I did kiss him one little kiss on the neck, but not in my mouth. And I did let a non-asexual guy in my mouth, British guy with his tongue, but I didn't actually reciprocate or do anything else more with him. Do you know what I mean? So that was quite brave of me, I think, even to do that. But yeah, it's just weird. I can't comprehend. I know some people are into short-term relationships because they don't feel the need to be attached to someone. They don't feel the need to be in a romantic relationship. They don't get attached. They are emotionally detached, and I know in a healthy relationship, you're kind of supposed to emotionally detach yourself from people. But, I love and value emotional intimacy. I think that's part of a loving relationship. And as much as you might wish you were detached from someone emotionally, I think when you're really in love with someone, you do get attached emotionally. And I don't think I'm going to ever be able to stop or help that fully, because I'm a really hyper-romantic asexual, and it kind of goes with the territory, It's like trying to not be that. It's trying to go against my own, my own self, do you know what I mean? And my personality. It's kind of something that's not really going to happen, even though I wish I was more detached sometimes. I wish I'd learned the art of detachment more, and I hope I do to a certain extent. Anyway, I hope this video has been useful, helpful, and insightful. If it has, please give it a thumbs up, because it really helps raise awareness of asexuality. It means I keep doing these videos for you because I know you really enjoy them. And it gets these videos high up in the search engine rankings. So any thumbs up is really appreciated. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. And thanks very much for tuning in, and thanks for listening and watching my asexual journey. Thank you. Because, you know, I do all these videos to try and help you as well, so that you know that if you are into asexual dating, relationships, or even friendships, to be aware that there are people out there who say they're asexual or in asexual groups who aren't really. And, you know, and to hopefully help you get a genuinely good relationship or friendship for you that will last a lifetime. So anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, please subscribe now. Hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It really helps me to keep doing these videos and helps raise awareness of asexuality. Until next time, I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye.